Great. All right. I think I did it. I recorded it last time I forgot and I was like, every time it's like really like it was really good and then I forget to record so I don't have a recording to send to people. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you're all hopping in and you have not seen this, let us know where you're coming in from, and then also where you're at in your licensing journey. Are you in the process? Are you already licensed? Where are you at? And then if you are licensed, have you already started in the field? So let us know all of that, and we'll just kind of chat as we go. Alrighty, so I'll go into a little bit about who I am. My name is Charmaine Cross. I have been in the insurance industry for over 20 years. I started in PNC and I worked at a company called USAA and I was a PNC representative for a little over 16 years, which I loved and I loved the business and all the things. And at that time, like the thought of referring life insurance as a referral was not something that I was comfortable with. I was like, I don't think I ever once mentioned life insurance to anyone while I was working at USA in the PNC field. And then just things started to change, and I wanted to do something more for myself. And so life insurance just happened to pop in my lap, and I had really had some not issues, but family stuff where showed me how important life insurance was. In the span of 4 years, I lost my brother, my brother-in-law, and my sister, tragic ways, and they were all under the age of 31. And so at that time, I just realized like I knew how important it was because none of them had life insurance, and how important it is of people to talk about it to others to let them know why they need it. So that's kind of where it landed me here, and how a lot of you found me was from Melissa Dillon, the insurance exam queen. And she is somebody who I've known for a little over 15 years. We worked at USAA together a little over 15 years ago. And at the time, we were in our very early insurance careers. And we only at that point knew auto insurance. And it was our time to go into more training. And the next thing was homeowners insurance. And so we went into this homeowners training class, and my current husband at the time was our instructor. So that's how we all intermingled. He was our instructor teaching us homeowners insurance 15 years ago, and that's how we all came to be here right now. So it's super awesome. Now, this QR code is just going to connect you to me, so you can send me your information. I'll text you my information. If you have questions that you want to ask or anything after this, feel free to, and we can hop on a call or just kind of text back and forth. But that just connects you to me. So I'm going to go ahead and go on. Now, tonight I'm going to show you a couple of different things. So when you're coming into life insurance, and I don't think a lot of us realize, like, life insurance is mostly a commission type of business, a commission type of job. It's very hard to find a hour, like a actual base pay plus commission when you just do life insurance. There are going to be some that you can find. It's just not very common. If you have like PNC and life, then yeah, there's a lot of like customer service type of things and broker, like you can work for brokers and stuff like that. But it's just not very common in life insurance, just life to have a base pay. So tonight I'm going to share just kind of what the broker aspect looks like if you wanted to come in and just be a producer, writing policies, getting commissions from the carriers, that kind of thing, and that's just really what you'd like to do. I'll show you what that looks like, and you can still, make really, really good money just writing your own business. And then the other aspect is an agency building. So this is for the people who are really looking at passive income, like having something that's going to last and make money all the time, not just when they're writing business. And so this is how we kind of can build an agency that we one own, and then two, it's as you're growing and mentoring new agents into your business, you're building passive income down the line, and you're making that all the time, not just while you're sitting at your computer. So I'll show you both of those and how it looks, and you can do one or you can do both. It's totally up to you. There is never a rule that you have to recruit. That's more for the people that want the passive income and they want the residual income and the, making money while they're sleeping, while they're traveling, all the things. All right, so what does it look like to be a remote life insurance broker, and what does it take? So I sit here at my desk during the day. I'm calling clients, I'm, doing a Zoom appointments, that kind of thing. And that's what it looks like from my seat. Most of the time if I'm on a Zoom appointment, I'm wearing a nicer shirt and probably sweats or leggings on the bottom. Today I have boxer shorts on. It's just the way that it works, and it's awesome for work. Like, you get to do that because you work from home. You are your own boss. There's nobody telling you what you have to wear, what your dress code is, when you have to be at your desk. You decide that, and that's really awesome. So, but here's some things that it does take though. Not only do you get to do all the things, you're the boss of yourself, but there's a lot of things that takes. It's going to take time because it's not easy to work for yourself. I am not a good employee. I tend to have other things in my head like, oh, I should do the laundry. Oh, I should go do this. I struggle to just sit here at my desk all day. So it's a lot of that is taking patience for myself because I'm very scatterbrained. Energy, mental toughness, like working for yourself. If you're not doing your job, you're not writing business, you're not making money. So you're not just sitting here for 8 hours and you're getting a paycheck. That's not the way it works in this business. You have to be writing business in order for you to be making money. Now, the amount of money you can make is amazing, and I'll kind of get into what that looks like too, but it's still sitting here and like for 8 hours, I'm not getting paid unless I'm writing business. So you have to really work for yourself and be a be a better employee than you normally are, which I am not very good at being an employee, but then also being, following a schedule for yourself too. So you have to really look at all that. And it also takes vision to see what's possible. If it takes time to get good at this business. It takes time to know how you want to word things when you're talking to clients. What's the voice that you like to use, and how slow you have. I struggle at this because I talk really, really fast. So for me, talking to clients on the phone, I had to really, really work to slow myself down. And that's just something you have to learn as you're going. But as a broker, here's what like the system works in our agency specifically. So this is going to be different anywhere else you want to go, but in my agency specifically, this is what the system looks like if you wanted to come in and just write business for yourself and make commissions from the carriers. This is what it looks like. You get training and mentorship. So there's onboarding training modules. We'll get together. What are your goals? How much money do you want to make? Because that's something you have to figure out yourself. I can't tell you you're going to make $10,000 a month unless your goals, your actions align with that. Yes, people come in and make 10,000 their first month, but they work and they do the things that they're told to do. So that's kind of what it's going to look like. But there are people that come in just to make an extra $1,000 a month. That's maybe writing one or two policies a month for them. For people they know, it's helping their family buy groceries or pay a car payment. There are people that want that, and there are people that want to make 20, 30, $40,000 a month. That's up to you. And number two, like, you come in and you invest in leads. If you don't have people to talk to every day about your business, which I do a lot of social media, I recommend everyone does. Promote yourself, show that you are not a secret agent. Everyone should know what you do. So you're getting leads from everywhere online, whether you're in the grocery store, talking to people. What do you do? What do you do? Share what you do. You can get leads from anywhere. But if you don't have a way and you're not comfortable with that, then you can invest in leads that are bought by, like, they're done in the company. And what normally happens and what successful people do is they estimate how much money you want to make. So if you wanted to make $5,000 a week, which is a very common goal coming into this business, that's only 5 policies a week. So it's very common to be, okay, I want to make $5,000 a week. Okay, based on that, the average person that wants to make $5,000 a week will spend about 10% on leads. So I want to make 5,000. I'm probably going to be spending about 500 on leads. But it does, come back. You have to be comfortable with that. And if you're not, that's fine, but you're going to have other ways that you're going to have to go out and find your leads. Social media, marketing in public, talking to people, going and presenting at, networking groups. I do networking groups locally. It's so much fun. I get leads that way. You don't have to buy leads if you have ways to generate them on your own. So it's not a requirement. It's just if you're wanting to make a certain amount of money, but you don't have ways to get people, we don't want you bothering your friends and family. You can write for friends and family, but we don't want you to write down a list of 100 people and go begging them to write policies. That is not what we want you to do here, because then they're not going to be inviting you to their Christmas or holidays or anything, because that girl just talks about life insurance the whole time. She's constantly trying to sell us something. You don't want to be that person. So, yes, you want to let them know you do it. Do you want to know how many policies of my family members I have? Maybe like, besides my own personal family, like extended family, probably. Actually, I don't think I have any. Not one. I have two friends, but everyone else is just people like that I either know from social media or from TikTok or Reels or Instagram or wherever. My leads, my friends and family, no, crazy. So you have to kind of expand yourself. But when you're doing that, you're dialing leads. If you're doing that aspect, you call them their scripts, what you're going to say, how to say it, and then you tweak it as you get better. Learn the scripts, learn what feels right for you. There's certain things on scripts I do not like to say. I won't say them if it doesn't feel comfortable, it doesn't feel natural. So you change it to fit yourself, but it gives you kind of a guideline of what to say. And then once you're doing that, the whole goal is to set an appointment with somebody who had requested information about life insurance. You set them up with an appointment. You ask them at that time, you're going through asking them their medical questions, things like that. You then prepare for the appointments, which I help you with as you're learning, because it takes a while to learn like the underwriting with all the different carriers. And then running the appointments, presenting what does it look like to present the options to them? How does it, how do I write an application? All of that you learn as you go, because it takes time. So we get you in, you do some training, you get some leads, you start dialing those leads. When you get to the appointment prep, we start walking you all the way down. So you just learn as you go versus trying to learn it all at once. Then you just rinse and repeat. The more you do the system, the better you get. Consistency will then equal a predictable income. You'll start to learn, if I had spend this much in leads, this is how much I can expect to make. Because then when you start getting better, you can even start to lower your leads because you're getting better and you're getting more out of the leads that you have. And so you just start to keep going, keep going. All right, so this is kind of what it looks like in our company here. So that we have a whole like tech background. So that Quility is our tech background. We have our training system is Summit. That's where everything is, all the videos showing you how to do all the things. Everything's there. And then we have our own leads marketplace, which a lot of the things when people are buying leads, a lot of them are not compliant. And so for all the leads that are coming from our company, it's TCPA compliant. It's people that legitimately asked for information. They wrote their name in, they called, they put up, it's something came directly from our company. We are not buying them from third party vendors where they're, just selling leads. It's not like that. And then, one sec, I need a drink. Talking too fast, guys. I start to get. All right. Okay, so now I need to get an updated one on this, but Quility Switchboard and Navigator. So Switchboard was our CRM system that we use. There's now an even better one that just launched about 4 months ago. It's called Switchboard Funnel. And basically what it is your leads come into your Switchboard funnel. And when you start to call them, when the client picks up the phone, the system pulls up a thing, tells you exactly what to say, exactly the questions to ask. It tells you exactly the medical things that you need to ask, their height, their weight, and you kind of plug it in as you're talking to them. So you don't have to go in and write in separate systems. The cool part, on the right, as you're doing this, you're typing this all in, it's popping up a list of carriers that client's likely to get approved for, what the price is, and all of the things right in the system. So then if it doesn't pop anything up, you're going to have to start underwriting and going to different carriers and checking different things. But if it's like, I'm a 35-year-old. I have zero medications, no health diagnoses, nothing, just super healthy. It's going to tell you right there as you're checking all these boxes. You can get this coverage for $34 or whatever it is. But it's super awesome and it's really good for like people that are getting a lot of one call closes. So they're able to share what a quote would look like just based on what they got from that one conversation, which may have taken 5 or 10 minutes. So, and a lot of our products, like this digital insurance product right here, that is, those are products that are made by the carriers. So there's several carriers out there that have made products specifically for our company. And they're only available to the company that we are with, which is called Symmetry. And what happens is their instant decision. It tells you immediately. So if you go to apply, the application will take a little bit, but as soon as you do the application, it's going to give you an instant decision whether that client's approved or not. So you could technically have a client from first contact to a policy issued in like 15-20 minutes if they're healthy and there's not a lot of underwriting or anything that has to go into it. But others may take longer, but it's super cool that we have this and it's just a tool that we have. You don't have to use it. It's $59 a month. So if you don't want to use that system, you don't have to, and you can use your own cell phones or whatever. But it's available and it's worth every minute because you can get probably 100 dials in less than an hour, where if I'm dialing on my cell phone, I'm telling you it's taking 3 hours to do 100 because I sit there, I'll end up scrolling. It just scrolling all over. So it's super helpful for people like me that just struggle with keeping focus. Um, and gets a lot more done in a short period of time. So here's how you make money as a broker. So you're writing your own business. You're partnered with well, initially we get you contracted with about 7 carriers first. And then as you go and you start, writing more applications, then you can start getting more carriers. Like some of the carriers won't let you contract if you don't have like 6 applications prior to that. So it takes a little bit of time to get some of the carriers on there, but you get about 7 up front. Mutual of Omaha's one, American Amicable, Banner Life, SBLI, Foresters, F&G, and I'm sorry, did you have a question? And then there's one more. UHL. UHL is one of them. So those are the ones you get up front, and then you can start adding more later. There's Gerber. There's all the big carriers you can get contracted with. So, and the beauty of this, I don't know if you've checked out other companies or anything like that, but the beauty of this company is there is no middleman for your money. You write business with a carrier, and the carrier pays you directly. So there's no you're getting carrier pays whoever, and then you get a check on Friday. That's not the case here. When you write business, you get the money 24 to 48 business hours after that policy is issued and paid, and you don't have to wait till Friday. You don't have to wait till the end of the month. So that was huge for me because I had another place that I had checked out before this, and they're like, "Yeah, we get paid on Fridays," and it wasn't like a set commission. It was like you got like a certain amount of dollars per policy. I don't even know. This is you get paid based on the premium volume of your policy. So if you're writing a $1,200 policy, you get your commission, and it's based on the $1,200 policy. So I love that part. But here's what it looks like in the beginning. So all of our agents come in starting at 80% commission. So for instance, if you have $1,000 premium policy, on that policy, the agent's going to make $800. Now, there are different, with all the carriers, obviously there's different policies that each carrier does. And so some of them are going to have different commissions and different lower and higher and different things like that. But each company has policies that are specific for our commission rate. You can still write any other policies you want, but you have to check on it. We have a guideline and shows you what all the commissions are at each company for each policy too. So, but anyways, the average policy starts at 80% commission. So you'd make $800 on $1,000 policy. Most people make that in a week at a job, and that's probably on the higher end. So you can write one policy, $1,000 policy a week, which is an average. One a week, you're making $800 a week on the regular. Now you're writing two policies, that's $1,600 a week. You write three policies, you're at $2,400, just on average. Are some higher, are some less? Absolutely. But the average policy you can expect to make about $800 off of $1,000 policy. So you get paid, you get paid, you get paid. Now you have the ability to increase your commission up to 95% in the first 3 months or the first 6 months. You can do the fast track on the right, which is in the first month you would write $5,000 in business and issue $5,000 in business. It would go up to 85%. The next month it would go up to, if you do 7,500 in business, it would go up to 90%, and then 12,500 the third month, or in 1 month it would go up to 95%. And they don't have to be consecutive months. You can do that at any point. So like if you came in like right now, October has already started, and so you would have to write a policy this week in order to be able to do it, because you have to write if it's a 5 Friday month, which October is, you would have to write business 4 out of the 5 weeks. And sorry, I'm just getting mute. And then if it's a 4 week month, then it's 3 weeks. You have to write business 3 out of the 4 weeks. So that's kind of the thing on the right. You have to write more business, but you also have to write 3 out of the 4 weeks or 4 out of the 5 weeks in order to get that. Now on the left-hand side, you can still get it within 6 months. How many people have ever had a job where your pay went up 15% in 6 months? Not me. I have been at jobs where it's a 2% annually. Two, three, maybe, like sometimes five. Like never have I had a job ever where I got 15% more in 6 months. That just doesn't happen. It's very uncommon. So you can get up in the, like if you went on the slower track, which, more people probably do the slower track, but 2,500 issued, and that doesn't, you don't have to have 3 out of the 4 weeks or anything. It's just 2,500 in business in the month. 2 months in a row goes up to 85. Then 5,000 2 months in a row goes up to 90. Then 10,000 2 months in a row goes up to 95. So there's abilities, and we want you to get your increases. Everyone is like celebrated. Like you see other companies where they might try to keep you low so that they can still make more money. We don't want that here. We want our people to increase as fast as they can, which is why they do the slingshot option. And sometimes they'll do like slingshot bonuses. Like if you hit in those like first 3 months, it's like this much more bonus. It's super cool. So that's not happening right now, but they have had it in the past. Now, this is just kind of what a part-time agent, I'm not going to go too into this, but if you were looking at six policies a month, and if the average was 1,200, that's $7,200 in premium in a month. With your 80% commission, you're looking at like 5,760 in commission. That's only for six policies in a month. And what the carriers do is they pay you your premium, but they only pay you 75% of it up front. So if your commission was, I like to use 1,000 because it's easier math for me. So if your commission was $800, they would pay you like 660 up front, and then the rest would be paid at the end of that year when the policy has been paid all the way through. So they don't want to give you the full commission up front, because if that policy cancels halfway through, you're ending up having to pay back the carrier if they end up canceling. So kind of protects you from that also. That way, if they don't go, you're not having to pay back so much of the chargeback or anything like that. So I use it as that, like if I'm getting any back end commissions, it just kind of helps prepare for like any chargebacks that might happen. Because they come every once in a while. I've only had a couple, but it's still not fun when it happens. You're like, oh, I just got to pay the carrier back $600. Like, ouch. So looking at like a part-time gig, six policies a week or a month, you can be looking about 70,000 a year. And that's just on average. And that's not if you get increases. If you're doing that consistently, you're not going to be at 80% commission very long. So you're going to be making more than that anyway. Now, here is like more of a full-time agent, and it's basing it like you're already at the 95%. You went up, you've gotten the increases each time. You can be looking at 200,000 a year just on 15 to 20 policies a month. So if you're looking at 4 to 5 policies a week at $1,000 in premium, you could be, making close to 200,000 in a year. That's wild. And people are doing that. Like there's people that are doing 30,000 in a month, 40,000 in a month. And it's like, holy cow. But they just get really good at their craft and just truly caring for the client, finding them the right business, not focusing on what's the highest commission. Because you're going to see that out there is I'm only going to write the policy that's the highest commission. We don't do that here. I will write what is right for my client. If my client is needing this policy that's only 40% commission, and there's another policy out here that I could be making 95% commission on, I'm not going to, that is not, it's going to be what is best for the client. And you're going to see that kind of out there. You're going to find, I find policies all the time that clients have already been issued from somebody, and you can tell it was just one of those cases where they were trying to make the best commission. So we definitely make sure that we do not do that here, and you truly do what's right by the client, and they can feel it if you're not trying to be salesy with them. So, but you can be, look at that, 35 hours a week on average is what these people do that are making that much money. It's crazy. All right, so here are some of our core specialties in our agency. Mortgage protection is what the company was built on. In 2008, there was like all this stuff going on in the mortgage world. The company was built at that point on writing policies that were directing toward people that had just purchased a home or just got a new mortgage. And it's still life insurance. It's still a term product, but it's designed for people to realize that they also probably needed to make sure that they had a policy that paid off their mortgage. They might have a policy at work, they might have a policy over here, but that probably isn't, that's probably to replace income, not specifically to pay off the mortgage. So that's what the company was built on. And so it's the most, like the highest thing that we talk about here. But now we're really getting into more, debt-free life is really big right now, where there's so many people in debt, and we have a policy specifically with Foresters that is designed to help people get out of debt in 9 years or less without spending any more money than they're currently spending. So they have worked a way to use a life insurance policy as its own bank to pay its other debts off faster, saves them tons of interest, and it's just something that is so awesome, and it's so fun to watch because there's 26 years down to 9 years, saving $100,000 in interest, and you see these stories all over the place. So it's just really cool. Then we have everything else: final expense, critical illness, kids policies, critical period coverage. Like if somebody can't qualify for like full mortgage payoff, we'll look at, okay, how much is your mortgage? If it's $2,000 a month, okay, we can get you 6 months of mortgage payments. Gives your family some time to figure out what they're going to do with the house. So it's basically, we call it buying them their family time. It gives them enough money to at least pay the mortgage payment so they don't lose the home in the transition period. And then also tax-free life. So our tax-free retirement options that we have here also, that you can talk to your clients about. The debt-free life and like tax-free retirement, those we have specific people on our teams that will write those policies. So you would refer it to somebody until you get certified if you wanted to do that. But you refer it to somebody, they write the policy, and then they split the commission with you. So it's like a referral. Like you're talking to somebody about life insurance, they get their mortgage protected, and you realize like, wow, they would be a lot better off if they could pay that mortgage off faster. You can say, hey, I have this. What would it help you if I could help you pay your mortgage off in 9 years or less? Mortgage and all your other debts. They're always going to say yes, and then they can talk to the debt free life people, and if they issue something and help them take care of their debt faster, you're going to make 40% right off the bat just for bringing it up and sharing that thing, what's available to them. These are some of the carriers that we partner with. So the main ones, and they're all, most of them have been around for 100 years, like literally. John Hancock, Mutual Omaha, F&G, Foresters, Gerber Life, AIG, like these are ones that you've seen everywhere. They're all, top rated carriers. So we make sure that we partner with only ones that we know are going to pay their claims and make sure that their agents are paid and all the things. So um, these are just some of the those are most of the ones I use. I don't really use John Hancock or Gerber Life, but the other ones I use mostly. All right, now the agency builder opportunity, like I was saying, you have the ability here to also build an agency that you own. Okay, that's what I chose this company for, is because they have an exclusive agency ownership program where, like, you can see, like, State Farm agents will have their own little agency and all the things. But what happens in something like that is when someone is a State Farm agent and they pass away, if they don't sell that business before they pass away, it's State Farm takes it back. Whoever its beneficiaries don't get it, they would have to make sure that they have sold it before they pass away or they lose it back to State Farm. Here, when you hit the agency ownership part, like when you get to that place, you get a contract, it's yours, it's your business, and then you can do what you want with it, whether you keep working it and keep growing it, passing it down for generations to come. If you grow it to whatever you do and then want to pass it down to your kids, then you can. If you want to sell it, you can. Other agents would buy it, buy your book of business and buy your agents from you. There, you have the ability to do anything, and that's why I chose this business. Now, would you rather be paid only when you work or have a business paying you when you're not working? So that is the difference between just like being a broker and doing just the policies your own, which you saw you can make still really good money doing it full time, but you would get tired over time. Over time, you're not going to want to be hustling and doing 20 appointments a week and all the things, like it starts to get tiring, and that's kind of what happens down the way. You find the really good producers, they do really, really well for like period of time, but after a while they get burnt out and then they start to struggle a little bit. So this kind of gives you the ability to do both. Um, Now you start as a broker, obviously. This is our agency builder system. You start as a broker, learn the basics, training, mentorship, running appointments, build credibility, helping families first. And then you can start to, if you're liking what you're doing and your freedom, you're having more time with your family and you're like, hey, I want to do this with my friend, or I want my sister to do this with me. You can start sharing the business opportunity with them, like, hey, you can become a broker at home. They join you. Now then you're starting to build your agency at that point. Then you help them go through the process, which we would help you too, but you can help them through the process, like, okay, here's how to get licensed, here's how to do this, here's how to start with the training, how to start calling leads, all the things. You walk them through all that. Plug them into the system. They're going to go through the same stuff you did. You mentor them on how, like, how we did. How much money do you want to make? $2,000? Okay, you're probably going to spend about 200. Just walking them through that. You don't want to do the work for them, but you just simply show them the system and how we go through things, like buying leads, dialing, setting appointments, running appointments, how to onboard, how to do things, and then earning overrides. So when you start bringing people into your business, you're going to earn overrides, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a little bit. But your agents start at 80%, and if you're at 95%, if your agent writes a policy, you're going to make 15%. Just because you mentored them through it, you showed them how to do it, you showed them how to get in the system. That the carriers pay you, not nothing from your agent's still going to get their 80%, but because you mentored them, the carrier is going to be like, here, here's a 15% bonus for helping your friend. So that's what overrides look like. It's just you're helping people get policies so you don't make one penny from anyone on your team or anything unless you're helping them write business. If they're not making money themselves, you're not making money. You don't get money to recruit them. You don't get money to bring them into the business. You don't make a dime on anybody unless you're mentoring them and helping them through the system, helping them write them for their first business. So when you see a lot of like pushing to recruit, which I see that a lot in lots of businesses, it's because they're making money, like bonuses, just for having people get started. We don't do that here because we want people to be successful. So we want you to come in. You need to learn how to do the things. You need to learn how to write the business. You need to learn how to do all that. And then you get some money. Once your agent makes money, then you make money. Not until then. So I really loved that part of it too. So here's how the overrides work. Basically, what I just told you. If your agent is 80% and you're at 105%, you would make 25% commission on whatever they write. So if they wrote $1,000 policy, you would make 25% of that. Where she's making 80, you would make 25%. So that's what that looks like. And so if you start to build, like if you were just doing your own production, you still could make 200,000 a year. But if you help others make a little bit of money too, you can add an extra 50,000 into your business every year just by helping other people do the same thing that you're doing. So you can do it if you want, but you don't have to. That's kind of the difference here is where companies push to recruit, which we love it. We want people to do that because we want you to make money when you're sleeping and make an extra 50,000 just by helping people. Yes, we want that, but it's not going to be like you have to do that. It's not going to be like if you don't, we don't want you. Like that's not the way that it works here. So you can, but you don't have to. Now, so here's kind of just a single agent example. So if you're a new agent, 80% contract, you write $1,000 policy, you earn 800. Okay. But if you are at 100% contract rate, then you would get a 20% spread on that. So you would get $200. You didn't write the policy, but you still got paid. And that's just for helping your agent write $1,000 policy. So you're just like, okay, I think these are the couple policies you can go with. Go present that to the client, whatever they issue. So you're helping them, but you're not writing the policy, but you're still making money. That's just for helping your agent. Now, if you have like a small team, okay, you have 5 agents in your business, and if each of them were writing $10,000 a month, that's $50,000 in annual premium value in a month. That's $10,000 in passive income for you. If you were averaging 20% override, you're probably not going to average 20% at first because you're all kind of going at the same pace, like trying to increase. But if you were at a 20% override, that's $10,000 if just 5 people wrote 10,000 in a month. None of them you wrote business. That's just what they wrote, not what you wrote. So if you were writing your own and you're doing 10,000 a month in your own business, that's 20,000 a month. So huge opportunity by building, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. Again, now 10 agents writing $10,000 a month. Look at this. If they were writing 10,000 a month each, that's $10,000 or 100,000 in annual premium. You'd be making like 20,000 in overrides on top of your own personal production. That's with 10 people, 10 friends, 10 family members, 10 moms that you know that don't want to leave their babies or put their babies in daycare. It can be some college students that I have a 19-year-old on my team right now who knew she wanted to be a life insurance agent when she was 16 years old. She's 19 years old right now coming in this business. She's just started. She's been live dialing in front of people just to get better. Like, this is wild. It can be anybody. Life insurance isn't just for old 65-year-old men anymore. It's for anybody. You can do it from home. You can do it from the coffee shop. You can do it from anywhere. It's for anybody. So if you know anyone that just wants to be home with their family, and maybe they come in their room for a couple hours or in their office for a couple hours a day or whatever, imagine how many people you can help. Now here is what was oh that's so okay. So here's just a few trips that all of the carriers, every single carrier out there has incentive trips. These are just a few that were, I think these were from 2023, no, 2024. These were the ones from 2024. I should update the ones that are new for this year, but they always have amazing trips and they're like 5-star trips. Like they're such great trips. Like nothing small, full, all flights, everything covered. The Las Vegas trip, like you see Las Vegas, oh, that's just Las Vegas. No, Las Vegas, they went to the Super Bowl. They took them to the Super Bowl and had like backstage under everything, like in the locker rooms, all the things. It's just wild. So these are the kind of trips you can earn from different. These are just the carrier trips, and the company, our company also has trips, but these are just carrier ones. Also, huge opportunity for people. If there's somewhere you want to be and you see it, just focus on that carrier. Get really comfortable writing business with that carrier. Write everything with them, and then you can earn your trip with them. So now, what it takes for any of this. So I'm looking for people that are either licensed or willing to get licensed, obviously, plugging into training and mentorship, being coachable and willing to learn. Now, work ethic, part time or full time, it doesn't matter. You can work whenever you want to work. But to be successful, consistency matters. If I only have 2 hours a day to work, great. Make sure you're working those 2 hours. Make sure that, you're doing it. And it's not for me. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, you're not working at the time. It's for you to be successful. If you want to be successful, when you say, I have these many hours to dedicate to a business, do that for yourself. Do that for yourself so you're successful. We already have a system in place. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to figure out how I'm going to do this. If you're willing to invest in yourself and your business, you will be successful. If you're willing to, come in and say, okay, I really want this. I really want to make money. I really do my own business. I you can come in and just get started and follow the system and you can be very successful, but you have to be coachable. You have to be willing to, you know, if something's not working, okay, how are we going to fix it? And then, tweak things as you're going. If your dialing's not working or your appointments aren't closing for some reason or appointments aren't showing up, there's something in there that needs to be coached for you to change that. So once somebody, like, I am looking for those people. If you are that kind of person where I really want this, I know I can build something big, I know I can be that person that makes $200,000 a month or a year, whatever it is, and you're like, I can do this, I want to do this for my family, I want to do this for myself, I want to partner with those kind of people. It's not for everybody. If you're someone who's like, I need to be completely handheld through every single thing, I'm not willing to learn, I'm not willing to grow, that this will not be for you. And those people weed themselves out anyway because they don't last. The people that complain don't last. If anyone wants to complain, it's not going to be for you here because it's not. This is for people that are just like, I love this. I want to do this. I know I can be a rock star. I know I could at least make $10,000 a month, whatever it is. This could be for you, and I want to work with those kind of people. So if you are already licensed, you do, we can get you started immediately if you are interested. If you're not licensed, we would have to wait until you do get the licensing. If you haven't started a course and you haven't got into any of that yet, we have discount codes through Excel. So where instead of it being, if you're not all states require it. So if you don't have to in your state, I always recommend just doing Insurance Exam Queen. But if you do have to have Excel in your state, then I have it for $49. So instead of it being 200, I can give you the discount code for 49. Excuse me. So that's kind of that process there. And then as soon as you pass the test, if you are not licensed yet, you can reach back out to me and we'll get you set up into the system and ready to go. But if you have questions or, just you're not sure if this would be something for you and you just want to talk, scan the QR code, fill it out. I'll text you. I'll get on the call with you whenever we need to do, just to ask. Like, there's certain questions like maybe you didn't think of, or whatever it might be. You can text it to me. I'll set as soon as I get the form. I'll send you my cell phone number so then we can just kind of text back and forth. And if we need to set up a call, we can. Let me see here if there's any questions. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute. We have a couple minutes here. And if you do not, feel free to, I'm going to put my cell phone number in the comments too, just in case. If you do text me without the form, just send me your name and that you were on the Zoom and where you're from. And that way I can, then I'll save it to my phone that way. That way we can connect. But here's my cell phone number there too. Oh, you're very welcome. I don't see your name. It looks like just a period there. I can't see your name, but you're very welcome. But you guys, I want you to be successful at whatever you wanted, whatever you're doing with your license. If you are doing, there's something for everybody here. So no matter what you end up doing, I don't know if y'all are a part of the insurance sales queen group, but Melissa has a friend named Mary. Mary started this group where she helps people with sales. And so in that group, there's like a group of six of us who help people just with sales. So there's PNC people, like I'll go in there and just do some life insurance stuff, like helping people go through just the whole process, like do role play calls and just different things like that. So if you're not in there yet, it is just Insurance Sales Queen on Facebook. So it'll pop up. It looks very similar to like Melissa Dillon's group. There's similar views of it, but join it and feel free. There's like a power hour every Wednesday night where we just get on and we share sales tips, whether it's there's a commercial person, there's PNC, there's general life, there's health people. We get in there and just help people help each other with learning different techniques on how to talk to clients and things like that. So no matter what you do, whether you do this with me or not, join her group and come and learn with us because there's so much value in it and so much opportunity for just growth and everything for all of us. So and that's like something that's free. The power hour is free every week. But it's amazing. It's a great group of people that have helped us a lot. There's even people the other day that said something that I could use, and she wasn't in life, but she was in a different. She did PNC, and the way she said something, I was like, I am using that next call I get. Like next call is just like, whoa, that's so genius. So anyways, if you have any questions, guys, send me a text, fill out that form, and I'll reach out to you and we can get on the phone call. But it looks like there's no questions, so uh,
I actually have a question for you.
go for it.
Yeah, so it's been November will be a year that I started the life and health yeah, kind of like just the process of going through like studying and trying to pass my exam, and I actually take my test on the 14th. I
Awesome.
haven't I haven't passed yet, but I started last year, almost a year ago, and I spoke with someone that was an agency under Symmetry,
Okay.
and I um I like actually filled out a contract with them, and it'll be a year in November that the contract like that I signed it.
Uh-huh.
Um so do you happen to know like if this will be like if this will kind of like if it
Well,
will stop me from being
it
able
won't.
to come with you?
It won't. So
Okay.
you never got your license, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So what happens is when we send like if I was to send the contracting over to somebody today and they weren't
Mhm.
licensed yet, you
Right.
can't get into like the system where you go through training or anything until you put your license information in there.
Okay.
And so it doesn't until you do that, you're not even a part of the company yet.
Oh,
Like
oh, I see.
like on contractual basis, because you won't get an email or anything from Symmetry until it says, "Congratulations, welcome to Symmetry," and that's after they've already verified that you're licensed. So I've
Okay.
sent it to people before, and then
Nice.
once they get licensed, then they just have to log back into that and then upload their license. What I would recommend is if you did want to do it with us, then we
Hmm.
just do a different email. That's it.
Gotcha.
Just a different email, and that would be it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You are very welcome. There's one more question in the comment. What is the number one? encouragement statement would you give someone who's just starting out? I'm going to say just do it scared. And it's the hardest thing. And I'm telling you why I'm telling you that is because I probably put myself back in the business a good 18 months because I was so afraid to dial, so afraid to call people. But I can talk to anyone out in public. If I'm at a grocery store, my kids like will literally roll their eyes because I talk to people in public. And somehow on the phone, I'm terrified of it still to this day. But you have to do it scared because the people on the other line are waiting for your call and to they're waiting for your help, especially if you're getting like a qualified lead and they requested that information. There's a lot of people who request information that never get what they're looking for. I've talked to them and they're like, "Oh no, we never got it and he passed away." Those calls are not fun. And so that's why I tell everyone to do it scared because those are the people that we're trying to contact. So that is my number one tip. But feel free to text me. You guys, I am an open book. I am willing to talk. I will encourage you, like, this isn't for everybody. I have had people where they're texting me and they're like, I'm really scared because I need a base pay. I get that. A lot of people need a base pay, which is a lot of people start here part-time while they're still working a job to pay for their leads. That's why I was saying if you only have 2 hours a day, it's okay. But just be intentional with those 2 hours a day. Make sure you're giving yourself time for appointments. If you have a client that needs to write a policy, those kind of things are just things to think about, but just be intentional with it. But you can do it. Everyone can do this, and this industry is huge. So no matter what you do and how you do it, go get your piece of that pie because it's out there and it's ready for you. It's $1 trillion industry, you guys. Everyone needs the coverage in some aspect or another. Maybe they don't need life insurance. There is How many people do you know that are not in debt? I don't know anybody. Like there's nobody that I can think of right now that says they have zero debt, no mortgage or anything. I don't know anybody like in my personal life that I know. And so I'm like, if they don't need life insurance, which they might not, they might already have it taken care of. And if they do, great. But do you have debt that you might need help with? Would your retirement look more comfortable if you didn't have this debt? Those are the people that there's opportunity out there for all of us. Let's go get it. Use it. Don't be scared. Don't be a secret agent, no matter what you're doing. Share on social media what you're doing. That way, when people think, oh, if they see someone that posts on a Facebook group that says, I'm looking for life insurance, who do you know? You want people to right away think your name when they see stuff like that. You want them to tag you in those posts. So those are the things that I recommend for sure. Go ahead and ask, girl. Is it Kirsten? Feel free. You can either unmute or you can have whatever you want to do. I don't see. I don't know. Someone had a question, but no one's unmuting. Um, how long are you bound by contract? What do you mean by that question? Bound by contract. So, oh, it's okay. Her sound isn't working. It's okay. You can put in the comments. So if you're bound by contract, if you start with us and if for whatever reason it did not work out and you were just like, I don't want to do this, that's not my thing, there's a contract, you just have to resign. The only thing that you would have trouble leaving like our company specifically is if you have a chargeback with a company, you're not going to get released. Like if you had a policy and it got canceled and you owe the company $1,200, that company is not releasing you until that debt is paid. So those are the kind of people you're not going to get released easily if you're having chargebacks and you're not paying them off or whatever it might be. That doesn't work well for people. So other than that, if it's like I just found a different opportunity, I'm going to go the PNC route or I'm going to do this, I'm going to go to a different company, As long as there's no chargebacks or debts owed to companies or to carriers, it's you'll be released. Like you just request it and they send it to the carriers and it gets released. The license for debt-free life is just life and health. That's it. Um, it's not a license. So it's a product, it's a whole life insurance policy that they use. But it's a specifically used for it. It's just a training that you got to go through. And they do it like there's one in Phoenix here in um I don't know, I think it's in December or something, but it's like advanced market. So it'll go into annuities and just different things like that. But your life and health is all you need. If you're just getting life, that's totally fine. If you don't have health, like you don't have to have health here, you guys, but I'm gonna not if you're not yet licensed, I would do it life and health. And here's why. I just have my life, and if you don't have health, you cannot write specifically just accidental policies by itself, and you can't write critical illness. So you can't write heart attack, cancer, stroke policies. Those have to be with a health license. So those are really good policies. Almost everyone needs an accidental. So not having that, I end up having to send it to somebody on my team that is health licensed. But cancer, heart attack, stroke, those are huge for people, and those are paid upon diagnosis. So those are big ones, especially if you talk to someone who has huge family history of something. You can say, you're almost at the age you were. Like my dad had his first heart attack when he's like 50. I'm 46. If I'm getting close to that age, like I would be offering to myself, yes, you can definitely get your health later. Yeah, since you're about to. Absolutely. You can do it later. It's the same amount of tests. Like it's like a full test again, where if it's together, it's like 50-50. But you can definitely do that. I'm going to go back for my health too. Yes, you have a question about chargeback. So chargeback. So if you write a policy that's $1,000 and the carriers pay 800, okay, so let me look. So 800 and they pay us 75% up front. So you would get 600 up front. Okay. And if in those, and that basically covers the first 9 months. So it's 75% of the policy. If that person cancels their policy 3 months in, then the leftover amount between the third month and the ninth month that you've already been paid, you would have to pay that back to the company. So if they advanced you the full commission, but your client only kept their policy for 3 months, the commission that you paid that was not earned yet, you would have to pay it back to the carrier. So it happens, it happens, and that's why you want to make sure that you're not just writing business that um, you're not just writing business that is the highest commission. You want to make sure that your client's going to afford that. That if they needed to replace their air conditioner in their car, they're not going to call you to cancel their policy because you charged them too much or you wrote a policy that you knew that they were not going to afford. That's why we do it that way. You do it the way that the client can afford, not what your highest commission is. That's going to save people from chargebacks. That's probably why I've only had two, and one just lost her job, so she couldn't pay anymore. And another one, I don't remember what happened, but that was it out of all the policies I've ever written because I don't write policies that they cannot afford. Um, okay, yeah. Okay. Um, Melissa, yes. Melissa is amazing, you guys. I struggle with reading, struggle like reading material and trying to figure out that stuff I really struggle with. Melissa, the way she explains it is so good. So if you have people, and you can always text me or send me a message too. If you have someone interested in getting licensed and they need the discount code for Excel, you can let me know and I'll send it to you. And then they can get it for the $49 too. But if their state doesn't need it, I say don't do Excel, go straight Melissa and just learn from her. That is the you guys all call her insurance exam queen. I always say Melissa. Sorry. I'm used to seeing. I just call her Melissa. But anyways, let me know. I can give you discount codes and all the things. She's awesome. She's so funny. And you guys, I knew her when she was 22 years old and like living her best like 22-year-old life. And so it's so cool to see her completely transform into this, amazing business owner. It's just so awesome. So I'm so proud of her. But anyways, let me know if you guys have questions. Send me a text with your name just so I can make sure I can save it and I'm addressing you the right way and everything. And if you have um, securities, nope, you do not need securities. Everything that we do here is all it's all fixed. There's not anything that's on the like market, like where it's market wise, which is why you would need a securities license. We don't need that here because everything that we do here is like a fixed thing. So it's amazing, but huge opportunity. So if you're that kind of person that is just like, I can do this, let's chat. And even if you just want to kind of talk things through, we can do that too. So send me a message. I will set up some time with you and we can go over things. If you just want some motivation to pass your test, I'll cheer you on. And if you're like, I need help finding a job, there's groups that well, not Melissa, Mary has set up like for like a job board too. We have that in there. You guys can definitely check that out. People post job postings, things like that there too. So you will not fail. You're not failing. Nobody is failing. My biggest tip, you guys, is just cram. You're not going to need anything that's on your exam in your actual job. Term, whole life, you know those things. You don't have to like that's not something you have to know. All those laws, all that stuff, you don't need to know it. You're not going to use that in your actual daily life. So get through the test, pass it, and as soon as you're done, you can start your journey. And I'm so excited for you guys. Go get it. Oh, you got your nursing license too? Girl, go, go, go. You got okay, if you passed your nursing license, girl, I'm telling you, you've got this. Life insurance isn't that bad. It's easier than PNC. I haven't taken health, so I can't tell you that, but life is easier than PNC, and I'm 100% sure it's easier than nursing. So you got this. Go get them. Send me a text. Let me know if you have any questions. Have an amazing rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Good vibes to passing all your exams, all the things. If you're looking for jobs, fingers crossed you get it. If you want to do this, we're going to go crush it. Let's do it. Talk to you soon.